That's me. So let me start with this. Happy birthday, boys. Happy birthday. Larry Neville says happy Flag Day. It is also the Army's birthday.
Yes,
We
it
just got
is.
old.
Yep.
So, and I see you out there, old man. Happy birthday, Sergeant Major. This indeed will defend. Oh, I've committed an error. You know what I forgot to do, Mario?
What did you forget?
I should have brought a sweat rag out here with me.
You forgot to bring your weapons rag on a stick. Is what you forgot.
Yeah.
You forgot. Yeah. Well,
you know what though? That's
yeah.
why some of my children have cell phones.
That's right. Servitor, I summon thee. So I'm watching the military parade in the background here, right? And it's pretty good. It's I'm happy with the production. I felt sad for those soldiers wearing the Civil War like wool uniforms, like enduring summer heat, like marching in Washington D.C. Yeah, the Beltway, that the Capitol Beltway area, that place sucks in the summer. It's horrible. It's got the Chesapeake Bay there. It's so stagnant. It's humid. It's disgusting. Okay, and they're standing out there for hours wearing wool uniforms. You can see their faces. They looked like Civil War soldiers because they were miserable. They looked.
I wonder how many fallouts they've had.
Yep.
Because, brother, if you ain't never caught a soldier who was falling out in formation, did you even serve?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, everyone has to experience that, and you can sense it coming. If you're a tight unit, then you're standing there in formation. You kind of sense that the guy next to you is falling out. You know who he is.
Yeah.
You know his name. You PT with him, so you're ready. You're ready with the arm to just be like,
yeah, you know who he is.
Okay.
You know his name. He's
good
in your truck.
Yep. Grab him under the shoulder and wiggle your knees. Wiggle your knees. Come on. Wake up. Breathe, motherfucker. Yep. But yeah, I'm seeing it. I like what I'm seeing. And also recently in the news, Israel, right, asked the United States to enter the war on their behalf because apparently they want they want those Tony Stark weapons that bust into the mountain and then blow up the nuclear facility, right?
Right.
And apparently America only has those. So yeah. And we've told them no for now. So if Trump does keep us out of this war, then I think this military parade would be a great success. If we do go to war by the end of the weekend, I'll consider it very cynical and depressing, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, Patrick says, and I will echo the sentiment to
Happy Father's Day.
Daddies out there. Happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
Cheers. Yep.
Mm.
So we're talking
Harold
about
said no.
Do you want to explain your thumbnail to the freeware audience, to the non-premium buyers?
So those of you who are still watching on X, Twitch, YouTube, but not Facebook, because for some reason we failed to go live on Facebook tonight. You got McCarthy there on the right.
That's good.
And you got FDR there on the left. And I went ahead and used a picture of the current ongoing LA riots. Homeboy flying the Mexican flag back there.
Yeah.
Because I really want to drive home as we go through this that we're going to be talking about how the commies got into America. McCarthy was right about everything, and that is the slimmest fingernail of scratching the surface of the commies in the U.S. issue. It is not the case that there were communists all over the government. It is the case that there currently still are, right? So, keep in mind, McCarthy was right about everything. With that, let me say this: there's a rant by Razor Fist called "Hollywood Was Always Red." It deals with this issue more granularly on Hollywood in particular, on the capture of the film industry, the cinema industry, intentionally by communist intelligence operatives in order to craft explicitly pro-communist propaganda.
Well,
and it covers, so we're going to be covering a much broader swath of the topic this evening. the Razor rant is about 30 minutes of excellent. I mean, if you're not familiar with Razor Fist, he's an F-bomb dropping fool, but so fair warning, not a family friendly video, but his research is on par with Mario's, and his delivery is just second to none. So I definitely recommend. I definitely highly recommend. In fact, here I'll grab the link. I'll drop y'all the link out there in TV land if y'all want to pull that up. And I guess you freeloaders that aren't ready to go to the members only section with us in about 5 minutes, y'all can go watch Razor's rant while we do a deep dive. But for those of you that are paying attention, let me see how many. Okay, we haven't quite hit the freebie number yet. What you got, brother?
We got a slight hiccup here. The coffee maker was out of water. I'll be with you in a minute.
Mario, you failed yourself, and with it me.
Yes, that is correct.
Pitt Danny says, just like they captured the newspapers in the 1890s, they went right after the movies. They did. I'll tell you what, while we're waiting on Mario to square away his failure and get the coffee pot running for himself, I'll share a little something with you, a little preview of some of the work I'm doing on a particular topic. I hope this amuses you.
Well,
The best part about that, guys, I published that as a short on all major platforms earlier today, and it has gone not quite, but technically viral. Let me see, how's it doing on the YouTubes? Yeah, not quite what I would call viral, but technically it is. So I'm pretty amused with myself for that little clip. And yeah, the whole story's coming out soon about how Carvana is just an absolute scam.
Yeah.
So Mario, you are back with us.
Yes, that is correct. And I'll be your I believe I'm supposed to be your hype man for that episode, or that special. So, right. I've been warned.
And I spoke to John, and
it's hot.
I'm not going to say explicitly that he's agreed to do it, but he's spending some mental energy right now on thinking about how he can participate in that program without putting himself in serious legal jeopardy.
So that's serious, huh?
Well, I mean, basically, he has a Juris Doctorate and he has sat the bar in several states, but he does not currently hold a law license. I mean, he's effectively retired. So he has to be careful to phrase things as not being legal advice. And what I suggested, and he seems to think is a workable mechanism for it, is essentially I'm going to tell my story and then just have him explain what the law says where it's relevant. And I think that pretty well covers his ass.
So you're getting like a proper legal counsel. That's nice.
Well, almost.
Well, I mean, it's proper in the knowledge of there. I mean, it's proper in knowledge.
Yeah. He'll be doing it in an educational capacity. All right. It is 10 after. In the past, we've gone 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not going to do that anymore. I think 10 minutes is enough. So we're going to go ahead and run the stinger and kick off the freeloaders and get into the goodness. So let's do this. Oh, by the way, Mario, I made a stinger for this now.
Oh, you did? Oh, nice. That's right. We haven't done it yet. Yeah,
If you pay attention, all the actual articles are pretty much like the Onion and the Babylon.
That's excellent.
A little homage to my Mario. All right, guys, before I kick all the freeloaders off, I want to read this to you. So if you're still freeloading over there on one of those shitbird channels, you at least get this piece of the vitally important information. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 criminalized all discriminatory practices based on, sexual orientation, gender, religion, color of your skin, et cetera, et cetera. But under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Section F, it explicitly explains to us that members of Communist Party or Communist Action or Communist Front organizations used in this subchapter, the phrase unlawful employment practice shall not be deemed to include any action or measure taken by an employer, labor organization, joint management committee, or employment agency with respect to an individual who is a member of the Communist Party of the United States or of any other organization required to register as a Communist Action or Communist Front organization by final order of the Subversive Activities Control Board pursuant to the Subversive Activities Control Act of 1950. That's right. Even when the Republicans said you have to stop treating black people bad, the Republicans and Democrats, as hard as the Democrats fought to keep the Civil Rights Act from being passed, they all agreed that commies aren't people.
Yes, that's correct. Because when your entire political structure is about undermining another structure, basically, and taking control of it, then when you're inherently a revolutionary like politic, there could be no peace with you. So no, you don't have rights. I'm sorry.
Correct.
In fact, I'm not.
All
sorry.
right. And that's the last free word for the freeloaders. You guys be safe out there. We love you. Y'all come and watch us 7:30 every weekday morning for a chance to win a free month of membership, or catch us in that first 10 minutes of the Saturday Deep Dive next week. Until then, y'all be safe. Here we go.